Prime Network presents The World's Best Racquetball, a composite show of the best competitions over the last 2 years. This is Pikes Peak, 14,000 feet of drama on the edge of the Rockies. And below it, Colorado Springs, the home of the United States Olympic Training Center and the home of the American Amateur Racquetball Association. Hi, everybody. I'm Lee Felsmo, joined by Jim Heiser, the Associate Executive Director of the AARA, and Jim Turner, ex-NFL great. The three of us have brought you these broadcasts on Prime Network over the last 2 years. And today, guys, we get a chance to take and handpick 5 of the best competitions head-on-head and show them to the fans. And Jim Heiser, this is truly the world's best competition.
Well, all of the athletes that you're going to see today will be trying to qualify for their respective countries for the upcoming World Championships. So you do to have the world's best racquetball athletes.
And Jim Turner, you know what it takes to compete on a top level. We're wearing the team's national jacket. This is the national uniform for the racquetball team from the United States this year. This is the training center for them. The elite camp is here. All this helps to form the highest level of competition.
Well, it's certainly a pride factor, fellas, for everybody to be here. But in the modern sport era that we're in over the past 15, 20 years, the greatest thing that's happened to athletes as individuals or team is the fact that equipment and teaching is a lot better. And you have the very best of that here in Colorado Springs with sports sciences and sports medicine. It's all here, and when they take advantage of it, I think we'll see the results in the Olympics coming up and the World Championships.
All right, well, we've handpicked 5 competitions. When we come back, we'll take our first look at the competition in Phoenix, Arizona last year, and we'll have that when we return. Our first flashback takes us to Phoenix, Arizona, April of '91, the World Intercollegiate Championships. And 2 guys facing off as the #1 and #2 seeds, Jim Floyd and Tim Sweeney. These are marquee names coming onto the racquetball scene and really making a lot of news for themselves.
Well, Jimmy Floyd is one of the quickest players to ever play the game of racquetball, but here he was matched up against the power of Tim Sweeney, 155-mile-an-hour serve.
And Jim, I've always liked a matchup in any athletic event, speed versus power. 3rd time, by the way, for Floyd to be in the finals of the Collegiates. He won it as a freshman, skipped that year and back now. And also Tim Sweeney, he's on a roll. 1991 was Tim Sweeney's year.
And the first game kind of went as we expected, Jim. It came out with Tim with the power serve, Jimmy getting to everything with the fancy shots and the charismatic personality.
Well, and they were a little bit tired, too, because they had worked their way through as a #1 and #2 seed, the largest grouping ever for the Collegiates. The talent this year was the best ever, as it's getting each and every year in racquetball. So they were tired. They had met all the challenges and the speed and quickness you talked about. Jimmy Floyd, sometimes with his acrobats, he's a really showbiz type of guy. I think he's the most entertaining for fun to watch in racquetball, but it costs him a little too much between the legs behind the back.
Well, the first game he went on ahead, but Tim Sweeney came back, and Tim Sweeney ended up winning that first game, and we get ready for the second game.
And of course, the second game is where all the drama starts. That's where we'll pick it up in game 2. Now, Tim Sweeney has a 1-0 advantage. You only need 2 wins to take that championship. Jim Turner will be handling the play-by-play, and Jim Heiser will be doing the color. Let's pick it up in game 2.
7-2 now for Jimmy Floyd. He's got a pretty good sized lead here. The thing is, with these servers, no lead is ever a safe lead.
Oh, exactly. Let's take another look.
Cross court. Diving, but he couldn't get it. It takes a lot out of you pounding that floor all that time.
Excellent call. No question, the ball came right back at Jimmy Floyd, and Tim Sweeney wants an avoidable. Avoidable would mean that, that if called and agreed upon, Jimmy Floyd would lose the serve, and it would be a side out.
Well, what Tim's asking for here is that Jimmy hit a shot, came back to him in center court. Tim was in pretty good position, and Jimmy never moved.
I was going to ask you to change your rackets. We see it all the time in like tennis and stuff. Do you think it bothers the players too much? Because everybody has a favorite feel, a favorite grip on a racket.
I think it bothers you for a couple of points until you get to feel the new racket back.
Boy, right down the glass. Absolutely a paper hanger. Right on the wall.
Serve 7.
Well, let's see. Tim has no aces this game.
Beautiful shot. This game almost going like yesterday's game 1 of the semifinals between Jerry Price and Jimmy Floyd, as he loses the first one, he comes back strong in the second one, takes it to the tiebreaker, and wins the semis.
Jimmy has to start making some of these shots right there. He's not doing it.
Right. And again, the powerful forehand of Tim Sweeney beats him on that, and he's just not able to recover with his own speed and quickness. So we'll take another look at this.
Well, his serves aren't quite as good as they were in the first game. Jimmy's getting the chance on the return of serve, but he's just not putting the ball away. As you can see, they had a good shot to the white side, and Jimmy couldn't get it.
Serve 7.
This is exactly what happened to Tim's serves yesterday, though. Second game, they were coming off the back wall, just like that.
Wow.
But just like yesterday, Joel Burnett wasn't putting Tim's shots away off the back wall, and neither is Jimmy.
Long serve, hitting 3 walls, hits the back wall. So it's second serve. Jimmy Floyd looking at Eric Mueller, the referee, kind of saying, hey, that last one was a great shot, but it was a screen. Didn't work.
No.
Second serve.
Eric's got a real bad position, but I don't think it was a screen.
Right in front of you, okay.
They're going to have a replay on this one. This is one of those judgment calls where the one player is saying, hey, I would have hit you in the back. We'll call it a safe, but I don't know all the time if it's nothing but a ploy to bother the server.
That was a smart shot by Jim, just to go back to the ceiling to get in the rally.
Another broken ball.
Well, this is going to be to Tim Sweeney's advantage. New ball comes out fresh. It'll be faster. It'll be to Sweeney's advantage. We'll see what happens now in the serve.
I want to go back to that point there where Jimmy Floyd did not want to return that serve, saying he might have busted his opponent in the back or somewhere on it. Do you agree with that call, especially on that one when they were both in center court and the ball was over on the right wall?
Well, Jimmy's in racquetball, the rule states that you have to give your opponent a straight-in shot and a cross-court angle shot. Jimmy wanted to go across the court angle, and he said he didn't have it. It's actually worked to his disadvantage because that gives Tim a first serve again.
Okay, good point, Jim.
Second serve.
Oh, tried to short hop it.
Jimmy is not returning that serve very well. I mean, that's a setup, and that was 4-foot high return. Now Tim's right back into this match now. Three quick points, 5-7.
Skip. Point. Number 6.
Nice call on and agreed by Jimmy Floyd. From my vantage point, that one looked good. Score is 6, serving 7.
That's a tough shot.
Coming off the wall, pulling it all the way back to the left side. Jimmy Floyd calls timeout, and it's 7-7 with a run by Tim Sweeney. 7-7 here in the second game. Sweeney won the first one. He's tied it back up, and we'll take a short break and be right back with you from Phoenix, Arizona. Tim Sweeney's made a nice comeback. It's 7-7. And Jim Heiser, let's take another look at that shot by Sweeney that allows him to tie it back up.
Okay, Jimmy got jammed on the serve, went to the ceiling, and this is a really tough shot. It's coming off the back wall, barely off the back wall. He flat rolled that one.
A little break in the action there where we had our second broken ball, and you say it comes to the advantage for Tim Sweeney. The ball might be a little hotter and come back to his serve.
Jimmy's commenting on that.
Ever the showman, ever the good guy. Again, I'll say one of the most popular men in America in the racquetball scene, and the hit of Chile.
Well, he was at the, in South America, they have so many young kids that are playing racquetball. And as soon as they see a guy their size walk in, immediately they befriend him. And Jimmy was in the court all the time with the youngsters down in South America.
Hey, a terrific graphic. All those aces in the first game. Tim Sweeney with 0 aces this game.
Well, Jimmy's strategy has been working well. He's back in the rally. He's not getting overpowered by the serve, but he's not making the critical shots. He did there. A nice cross-court pass by Tim.
7, serve 7.
What Jimmy has to be afraid of right here is that Tim will get that serve back, like right there, and get a 2 or 3 point run.
Yes, I called the serve good. You feel? You feel?
Ace serve called
8, serve 7.
Eric Mueller, and it stands, so that's his first ace of this game. That forehand's coming back.
Well, he's flat rolling that ball off the back wall. Set up once again by his great serve. I mean, those last 2 serves that he had were good serves. This is what Jimmy has to be afraid of. 1 more point, Jim has to call another timeout. We can't let him get a lead.
Second serve.
You know, sometimes people might wonder why in the heat of competition an athlete can smile and joke around. Hey, Jimmy Floyd's been in this situation before. Matter of fact, yesterday he came back and won his match.
Well, twice this tournament he's been in this situation.
Side out.
7 over 9.
7 serving 9. Jimmy's got the serve back. Once again, he has to get put a little pressure on Tim with his own serve.
7, serve 9.
Now, Jimmy has a very good serve that he hasn't used yet, and he goes for the crack serve like you were saying at the beginning of the match.
Yep.
He hasn't used that yet.
There it was. There it was. You're a seer, a sage, as you speak. Good call.
Yeah, you hit it again. Well, doesn't want to do that, though.
Boy, everybody really appreciating the athletic ability of these 2 players.
8 serves 9. Tim will crank on this one. Ooh, great shot by Jimmy off the back wall.
There's that wraparound again. We saw it in the women's championship game. Now again here with Jimmy Floyd. It's that speed and quickness. And it's almost inconceivable how a guy pulls it around like that and rolls it out.
Bad serve by Jim. Jim tried to hit a Z serve and it didn't come around. Right off the back wall for a setup.
Well, I think only twice today out of all the forehand shots, Tim Sweeney has made a bad shot. And boy, there was an example of great one.
Good serve. Well, what Jimmy has to do now, his last 2 serves have not been real strong. What Jimmy has to do now is get that serve working again to Sweeney's backhand.
Well, I think what we'll do is take just one more look at how this one rolls out. It's a side out.
Jimmy hit center court, forced him all the way across, and then he's got him out of position right on the other side for rollout. Great great dive and get, though, or try. That was a great save right there. Nice shot.
Now that's the one we were talking about, the splat off the backhand of Tim Sweeney. I talked to him. He said that's my ace in the hole.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter shot, and very seldomly does he miss it.
Take another look at it and show the people exactly what we're talking about.
Off the back wall, Jimmy tries to come around and pinch it, missed it. Off the back wall again, and that's a great get because that ball was right on the wall. Jimmy went to the ceiling instead of trying to force a shot, but Tim splat.
Yeah, that's been his most successful shot all week long.
Yep. Wow. That new ball has affected his serve. Definitely a little more speed on it than the previous before the ball.
I called the serve good.
I don't know if it's an appeal or not.
Timeout.
Jimmy's coming out. He's appealing the shot.
He's also called timeout and the score is 11-8. They're going to appeal it, but it's timeout. And for Tim Sweeney and Jimmy Floyd, we'll take this short break. We'll come back to the second game of the Men's National Collegiate Racquetball Championships. Screen screen serve called by
Second
Eric
serve.
Mueller, our referee. The play kept going because the players couldn't hear the microphone from inside the court.
Well, Tim has 7 of his 12 points have been on serve aces or weak returns. Just like the first game.
8 serves 12.
Well, if he's going to get back into it, it's got to start real quick, like right now.
Well, I don't know exactly what he's
Side
doing.
out.
A reverse, backhanded, splat Z
12
serve.
serves
That
8.
hit the sidewall first. That's side out. What was he thinking?
I'm not sure I would like to comment on that serve.
Wow.
Short.
Referee
Second
called a
serve.
short serve. Well, when we were in South America, there's a Canadian that serves backhand. His name is Sherman Greenfield. Maybe Jimmy was trying to emulate him.
Well, do it in practice and learn when you're down a game and in the points in the second match. Well, he's got to get back into this.
Okay, he has to go
8
back to his drive
12.
serve, and he should go to that crack is what he should do. Go for that crack serve. That's his bread and butter serve. I mean,
It's that possession of center court by Tim Sweeney that's been the
12
difference
serves
today. He's
8.
just owned up front.
Jimmy's trying to throw a few fancy shots into this match, and it's not helping him out at any this time.
He's another great serve.
Good serve. "13 serves 8.
13 serves 8.
Yeah, this is Jim was
Yeah, one
down
time every
13-8, second game, exactly the same situation 2 days ago in his quarterfinal match, and he pulled it out.
Jimmy Floyd has one timeout left, and Tim Sweeney can smell the championship.
Short
Second
serve.
serve.
Second serve. He's going to go for that drive serve. Long serve.
Side out.
Well, I don't blame him for trying to get it in when he has at the
Last
13th
timeout.
point. Jimmy Floyd has called his last timeout, and it's 13-8. Jimmy's going to come out here and talk to himself, try to regroup. Tim Sweeney staying strong and feeling very, very confident. We'll let them take a break, and we'll take one as well. We're back at the second game of the World Intercollegiate Echelon National Racquetball Championships, and we're in Phoenix at the City Square Athletic Club. We'll be right back with you along the Prime Network.
Well, that was his last time out. He has to get himself together here. He has to get a good serve, and what Jimmy has to do is he has to capitalize on those shots. No more fancy shots, no more showmanship. Down to business and try to get some points.
Well, and you notice Jimmy Floyd came out, dried off, toweled off. Tim Sweeney stayed in the court and stayed very confident.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jimmy moved over to his left side. I think he's going to go for his Z serve, perhaps. Well,
Boy, confidence on that return.
really was a weak serve, especially after that
serves
long a
8.
timeout to come back with that serve.
So what a pass. Pulled it right by him. He didn't even see it.
Now, sticking in there, he's got to get a
8
good serve
serves
down.
13.
Jimmy slipped right at the point of reaching his racket out to try to hit that ball. We'll take another look at that, and we will see Jim Floyd slipping on it and not able to get the racket on the ball.
Well, Jimmy's going for that crack serve. See him turning all the way around. I guess we can't see the return, but Jimmy went for the ball and slipped, and he just didn't have enough traction to get a hold.
Yeah, we'll get a real good view of it this time off the serve.
Went for the crack, popped up, and he slipped. He couldn't get it
See the
right.
slip. And again, I don't believe there's a wet spot because they've been toweling down the
13
court
serves
in between
8.
points. I think, as you said, this floor has had a tendency all week to be a bit slippery.
Mm-hmm.
Short
Serve. Referee
serve.
calls.
I called the serve short. Agree. Disagree. Second serve.
Tim, hey, he's close to the championship. The emotions are flying. He wants to get this sucker over with.
Well, the line judge that had the best angle called that one good. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, that was a real critical point because he had a
Second
setup
serve.
there. Plum setup.
Well, we're looking at match point right now. Tim Sweeney with the serve, and the point is 14. The score, I should say, is 14-8.
Well, Jimmy had the plum set up, and he just didn't make the shot. But Tim's putting the ball away. When Tim's got the shot this game, he's putting the ball away. Nice GM. There it is. Perfect setup.
There it is. There's our men's intercollegiate racquetball champion, Tim Sweeney. And I tell you what, you've really got to appreciate what these men have gone through all week to get here. Tough matches in the semis yesterday, and a most appreciative crowd here in Phoenix, Arizona at the City Square Athletic Club. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to talk with Tim Sweeney. And boy, these two guys sponsored by Echelon have been warriors, and they're terrific. Listen to the sound. I'll tell you what, we'll go into this break with the sound of the crowd. Welcome back, everybody. We're in Arizona, and congratulations to the men's intercollegiate champion, Tim Sweeney from Southwest Missouri State. They win the team title as well. Hey, Tim, congratulations. You were awesome.
Thanks. I thought I played pretty good.
Yeah, you did play pretty good. All week long, your ace in the hole was your backhand splat. Didn't have to use that against Jimmy Floyd today.
I thought I kept him off balance with my serve. I got a lot of my first serves in, and I just wanted to keep him on the run. I wanted to keep on passing him.
Let's talk a little bit about the difference between the first game and the second game. First game, 6 aces. You were simply awesome on the serve. If it wasn't an ace, it was a poor return on his part that set you up. Second game, only 1 ace, and it really didn't work. Were you getting a little tired?
No. He played really good. He pulled out some serves that he didn't pull out the whole match, and he threw me off balance a little bit, and I thought I'd get back in it.
Tim, when we talked about the match prior to your going on the court and playing, we talked about your power against Jimmy Floyd's speed. Did that bother you at all when you were setting up your game plan from yesterday's semifinals into today?
No, I think Jimmy hits the ball probably as hard as I do. I don't know where he gets the power from. He's really quick.
Have you ever had your serve time?
No.
Would you estimate with the mid-size and oversized rackets available today, 150, 160 miles an hour?
I think so.
Well, Tim Sweeney, we want to congratulate you on the singles championship, but your college as well, Southwest Missouri State, the first team championship here at the Intercollegiate. You did a beautiful job. Congratulations.
Thanks. That's what counts, the team.
Our next competition is an international one, and this time we go to the islands of Hawaii. It's June of '91, and it's the Pacific Rim Championships. Jim Heiser, when we talk about international competitions, 3 countries always come to the foreground: Mexico, Canada, and the United States. In this Pacific Rim Championships, the prediction was Canada, U.S. again.
Well, this is probably the most intense matchup that we have in amateur racquetball. You have the Canadian doubles team, the United States doubles team. They're always in the finals. It's always an intense matchup, and it's always very, very close.
Well, no exception here, Jim Turner. You and I covered this one. It was a beautiful venue, of course, and the teams were out there going for blood, Canada against the United States. The doubles competition is always a little extra fun because the rallies are longer and there's more going on. This team, though, from the United States, had a very interesting mix of youth and age.
Well, youth and age, also big and small. Tim Hansen being big and I think the best partner for doubles that anybody can have. I think he's the best doubles player in the world. And Jimmy Floyd, the quick little jitterbug, the rabbit, he gets everything. But they kind of play quarter to quarter with Hansen taking the forward and Jimmy chasing everything in the back against Ross Harvey and Cerisi from Canada. And what's interesting, because all competitions should be intense and heated, that brings out the best in the athlete. But Canada said in the prelim of the matchup when we were doing some interviews, they said, we'll not only beat America, they'll only score 6. Now, Hansen and Floyd heard that.
Well, you might see some references to that as we pick up the action. Game 1 was very intense, but the United States did prevail. You must win 2 for the championship. We pick up this doubles competition in Game 2 from Honolulu.
The score is 10-10. So we rejoined Game 2. The score was 10-7. They were down by 3, but they've scored 3 straight. And now it's all tied. Avoidable hinder called.
You have to allow the player to shot.
The appeal process even after you let the ball go, Ross Harvey is debating, if you will, an avoidable hinder means that player is in the way.
It's an avoidable hinder. Call is avoidable hinder.
Well, you think Ross Harvey understands the power of that 11th point? He wants that point back.
Otto is a very fair referee. Very, very fair. But when he makes a decision and he feels he's right, he's going to stand on it. By the way, in the second game, Jimmy Floyd, as I said, hanging him in there. He's had 9 kill shots in the second game.
So now the United States leads 11-10, but they just missed that opportunity. Side out.
I watched Ross Harvey play all week. He's very competitive. But one of the faults I see, okay, this is kind of my opinion, he loses his temper. He loses it.
And it affects his play.
And it affects his play.
Something you don't see in a player like Timmy Hansen.
Right.
Hansen hides at all the emotions.
They able to hang in there.
Point
so we'll
for
just
Canada.
see how that works.
And Jim, that makes the score 11-11.
Excellent opportunity and great camera work by all of our people. But we'll watch how Ross does it. He knows exactly where the opponents are, brings it right back at himself, and it's point.
That came off his foot.
Hand out.
And that'll slide over to his other partner for Canada, Mike Saricia.
Tim Hansen telling his...
actually, he was serving. Now it goes to Ross Harvey.
Hansen telling his teammate Jimmy Floyd, bring the ball right back at the players. Right back at them.
This is the time to... crunch time for both teams, really. Jim, you got a 4-point game now. 11-11, side out. Here's the U.S. with 2 players, each going to have a chance to serve. 4 points needed to win the championship.
And the Americans getting a great break in the back right-hand corner where the ball cracks out from behind, and that's one of those you just say, I'm sorry, but you will take the point.
Floyd taking charge, and he gets that point to make it 12-11. In favor of the United States. And Jimmy Floyd, as you mentioned, Jim, is really stepping up and taking charge of this match.
Jimmy Floyd has been the player, almost taking over the second game by himself. I know that's almost impossible when you're playing doubles. And as you see, taking the perfect shot, sliding it under his opponent's leg, Tim Hansen jumping up and letting Jimmy make the kill. But it's been Jimmy's game, the second game. Americans ahead now, 12-11.
And he has a chance to take it right out to the championship point.
Good. Hand out.
But he loses the serve there, goes to Hansen. Now it'll be Hansen with a chance. If he can get 3 straight points, they'll take it home right here. Skip ball, side out, so that goes back to Canada. They're down by 1 now. They led throughout 10-7 as we picked up the action in game 2. The United States crawled back to a 12-11 lead, and now Canada has a chance to take control back.
Leif, I tell you, it's been great with the U.S. and Canada, but Mexico, Japan, the Netherlands, Korea, Chile, and of course Bolivia here. It's been fabulous.
We talked about Bolivia. They really pushed the United States doubles team. The United States won game 1. This is game 2, and it's
Ross's get there was 2 bounces.
Can't get any closer.
Okay, line judges, I called Ross's get up there in the front court. 2 bounces. There's an appeal. The call stands.
2 bounces called by Otto Dietrich. Old Eagle Eyes.
Hand out.
I want to make sure I tell everybody about the other country that was here, Costa Rica. 9 countries here at the Pacific Rim Games.
Racquetball very strong in South America, Central America.
Well, it's just been a nice job on the part. Watch Jimmy, that's his permanent place when he's in the doubles, always on the floor. He gets after everything. And Saricia also on the floor. You haven't seen much of Hansen and Ross Harvey on the ground.
Okay, let's get ready to play.
That was a double bounce.
He really had a shot to take that, though. That's a error on himself. Love the overhead shot. See their movement, how they're able to move around, no body contact. Harvey on the floor first, then Mike Saricia on the floor.
And Floyd doing a nice job of getting right back in. After he makes that diving play.
One of the first shots by Tim Hansen that rolls it out in the second game. We just witnessed it right there.
Serving 11.
So no damage done as they lost the serve. They get it back 12-11. They still have the 1-point lead. They've got 3 points to go to win the championship. Floyd serves first.
Second serve.
This will be his second serve.
Well, Jimmy coming
Floyd
up with a great shot.
He's going for the MVP trophy,
yeah,
isn't he?
There's no question, but everybody asking what's Hansen doing. He was all over the floor.
The last shot here.
Not a better rally in the match so far.
No,
and
I
they're
said it was a
talking
good
about
shot.
it right here.
But what?
Okay,
There's
Lyon
Hansen
did it.
on the
I
floor
called
for the
Jimmy
first
Floyd's last
time
shot here
as
a
we
good
watch here.
shot. There's been
Cerisi
an
on the
appeal.
same
I
time.
called the shot
He
good.
slips
There's been an
again.
appeal. The call stands. Point.
Boy, I'll tell you what, is he one of the better doubles players in the world? I'm talking about Tim Hansen, even though he's on the floor. Jimmy comes with a kill shot, shoots it right underneath his teammate. Look at this. Listen to this excitement.
Tremendous play. That makes it 13-11. They are 2
yeah.
points away from winning this match, and they are stepping up one level, Jim. You see it in the NFL. You see it in all sports. They're taking it up a notch when it counts.
Canada,
Well, they
you've
call it
used two
crunch
of your
time, and
appeals. You
I'm
have
quite
3
surprised
left.
because the first half of this game totally dominated by the Canadians, and I think just the athleticism, the speed, and some great shooting by Jimmy Floyd carrying him through.
Floyd and Hansen, Tournament of the Americas champions from last year. And look at the kill shots.
Well, there it is, all wrapped up in one. Jimmy Floyd with 11 kill shots.
Which has to be surprising to Team Canada, because that's not what they expected. They did a good job of keeping Hansen out of his game.
They were trying
They
to-
thought that would be effective.
Absolutely.
But Floyd stepped up, and he's taken up the slack.
Absolutely.
fair
They
play,
knew
good
Jimmy
calls.
was going to get his shots, but not the entire share.
And how about that drying the court? We saw Hansen all over the court. You know, that took 2 towels to get that sweat up from Hansen over there doing that
United
teddy bear
States
roll.
won the first game. This is game 2. United States serving. Canada's receiving. The score is 13, serving 11.
Otto Dietrich said it all right there. Look how close the first game was, and this one equally close. And they've got an excellent chance here, the United States does, to wrap it up.
Well, they are their country's representative championship doubles teams, and this is an opportunity now for America to win the Pac Rim championships.
score
Cerisi
is
very disappointed because
14,
this would be the match
Serving
point.
11. Hold on. Stop.
14-11.
14. Here's the score again. 14.
Match point, ladies and
serving
gentlemen, right
11.
here. Team USA with a chance to win in 2 straight.
There it is.
There it is. Beautiful job by Tim Hansen.
And he saves it for the match point.
Textbook
Floyd,
style.
United
That's
States
what that team does well, and Hansen was there when he had to be. They win 15-11 after winning game 1, 15-13. We'll be back in a moment to talk to the winning team, Team USA, Jimmy Floyd and Tim Hansen, winners of the doubles finals from the Hawaii Pacific Rim Championships from Oahu, Hawaii. We're back at Schofield Barracks on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. Leif Elsmo and Jim Turner. Jim, look at the numbers here. The United States team wins over the Canadian doubles team in 2 games, but they did not have an easy time of it.
Well, no, once again, if you just look at the stats, the raw stats, it looks like the United States should not have been winners, yet they come out. And I think it's the aggressiveness of their serves that helped them come around. And in the first match, and we're going to talk to the players, in the first match, it was Tim Hansen's kill shots, and they win the first game. The second match, totally dominated and controlled by Jimmy Floyd. He has 11 kill shots by himself in that.
He was awesome. Let's go down and talk to the winning team from the United States. Right now, Hansen and Floyd, the combination, they are with us down on the floor where they won the championship from the Hawaii Pacific Rim Championships. Timmy, it was a great match. It looked like Canada did a good job of keeping you out of where you like to be, but it was Floyd who stepped in there when he had to.
Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy came in and helped me out. They really took me out of the game, and that's what they did effectively.
Gentlemen, let me ask you a question. I think one of the great things is your ability to adjust as players. In first game, Tim, it was your game. Second game, Jimmy, you take over. Is that a matter of communication when one guy takes it over for the other one?
Yeah, that second game, we had a little difficulty trying to be overly aggressive, and it's all because of singles. You know, you try to hit these kill shots like you do in singles. Return of serves today, we didn't want to try and end the rallies. We wanted to set up the rallies, get them out of position, and then go for the kill shots. And the first game, Tim was making the kill shots. Second game, they were keeping the ball, not at Tim's power zone, so we had to wait till they set me up, and I had to go for the kill shot. Tim did a great job up front, getting the ball, keeping them out of position, giving me the chance to put it away.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the video from the winning match. This is game 2. I think we're going to take a look at match point. And, of course, it ended up that Tim Hansen was right where he had to be. Jim, you called that one.
Oh, absolutely. It's his patented shot. He's up there in front, controlling it all. And, of course, Tim, give us a little intro to this.
Well, I just wanted to keep in the front court, and then as soon as I saw that ball come to my forehand, I just jumped on it and short hopped it right in the corner.
Tim, do you know you have your opponent screened out? I know that's one of your favorite shots, but do you know that you have them completely out of position?
Absolutely. That's part of my court coverage. I stay in the front court, and whatever comes to me, I'll take. I try and block out my opponent. I was trying to keep Harvey out from coming around and getting in front of me while Jimmy was taking his shots. That way, if Jimmy even leaves it up half an inch, he won't even have time to get around to get it.
Well, our congratulations again to both of you, Tim Hansen and Jim Floyd, a magnificent 2-game win for the men's doubles championship for the United States of America.
You're looking at the flag of the American Amateur Racquetball Association, one of 42 member sports of the United States Olympic Committee. They're flying proudly above the training center here in Colorado Springs. Pikes Peak in the background, a beautiful venue, a sunny, bright day, much like it was last year in August. And that was the venue for the competition we're about to talk about. It was a world competition. We call it the World Challenge Series. And it was definitely a challenge. Canada, Mexico, U.S., the 3 best countries in the world.
Of all this hard work, she's into weightlifting, she does the sports sciences and the sports medicine. She's very strong and very powerful. So you're going to be able to see her power and the fact that she takes this tournament and goes on. It's a springboard for her. She goes on to beat some of the world's best.
And I picked Sue MacTaggert prior to this match because she is so experienced and she's been around a long time, and her game plan was perfect for Robin. She had the perfect game to beat Robin, but unfortunately this day she didn't do it.
Well, I think sometimes game plans fold when your opponent is executing perfectly, and the thing we'll see from the women's side is a result of better rackets. The ball is a lot hotter now, is the fact that Robin Levine is so powerful. That's the difference.
Well, the power of Robin Levine prevailed in Game 1. We're going to again pick up this action in Game 2.
What is she doing, or what have they collectively done with the Canadian group to say, hey, Robin is, number 1, playing very hot today. Number 2, her power is unbelievable. What can they do to change pace now?
Well, what they have to do is once the serve is called, you get 10 seconds. Sue has to raise her racket up. She has to take that 10 seconds. She has to
That's
change.
on the return. That's on when she's a receiver.
That's when she's receiving. And what I would do if she was serving right now is I'd change the pace of the game. I'd go to a lob serve.
We're talking about trying to put Robin to sleep and
That's right.
Okay. I mean, it really is. I've never seen anything like this. It's just an overwhelming display. I thought Michelle Gilman was dominating on all of her power shots, but Robin is really with it.
There were the 2 coaches, Gary Ness, and there's Jim Winterton from the United States.
Why does Jim? Of course, he's a football coach. He always looks worried. Why does he look worried?
Jim's born worried. I had him here 2 weeks with the elite training camp all the last 2 weeks, and I never saw him smile till just a little bit when the United States won one of the matches earlier.
Sue MacTaggert with the first serve of the second game. We're in Colorado Springs at the Linmar Racket and Health Club. Robin not able to see that ball on the return cleanly, puts the arm up, asks for the screen, and the Canadian referee Dan Smith awards her that.
Well, this is a good serve for Sue right here. She's got a good Z serve, and she's using it to Robin's backhand. No, she switched around already. She's going to lob serve, second serve. But
Dan calls that a skip. Robin does not think it's a skip. Sue obviously thought it's a skip. We're going to take a look at the replay. The lines judges have agreed with the referee.
I agree. I think I heard that ball. It sounded like it skipped. A lot of times we couldn't see it at our angle.
This is the second game on the ladies' side here with our first annual PIN World Challenge Cup of Racquetball. I really like the venue. International flavor between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Well, I have a feeling sometimes that Sue gets trapped in that power game, that slaughter game, and just tries to match her power with power and doesn't put it away.
She's not going to be able to match Robin. There's no way. And what's surprising me is she's serving and hitting a lot of balls to Robin's forehand. And
it looks like an Oakland A's Detroit game. It is a slugfest, but there have been a couple of times in that rally that I thought Sue might have been able to slow it down and maybe softly pinched it because Robin's standing in the back.
Well, Robin will shoot from 39 feet. If I was Sue right now, I'd be lob serving and making her shoot from 39 feet. I think Robin wants to appeal that. She's not going to have to. It's all defensive for Sue and all offense for Robin. Just barely got that. Defensive return, Robin blast. Nice shot. 1-1.
Well, Sue with the racket up, trying to stall the quick serve by Robin Levine just a little bit.
Another good serve by Robin. A lot of pressure with that first serve. It's all defense again.
She's got so much confidence. Every shot from whatever angle, she's going for the kill, the hard kill.
Sure is. We'll see what serve you. There's the overhead. Sue's going to start on the left side, which means she can't drive serve this side. Now here it goes. Boom. You can see that baby load up.
You know, you're right, because she really does crank and load right here, and she's got Sue MacTaggert standing in front of her, and there's just no way she can get the ball. Here it is. Here it is, right here.
That's a smart shot, straight in. She's got Sue on her opposite side.
I want to ask you a question, though. When Sue was standing over on the left wall, even if she kind of runs out into the middle and serves, she can't serve it back at where she is?
She cannot serve it back to the same side.
Is that international rules or all new rules?
That's AARA also. Your motion must begin and it must finish inside that zone.
I think some of the judges I've played with better check the rules. Because I get away with that all the time.
Yeah, well, you kind of bend all the rules too, Turner. I've played you before.
She's just trying to survive with some weak returns.
Oh, boy.
My goodness.
It's so lopsided right now.
Kind of whets the appetite for a future Michelle Gilman-Robin Levine match.
And a defensive return. Backhand by Robin. Another defensive return. And here she goes, loading up. Sue just can't handle this power. She's going to have to do something drastically different to change this game. Or Robin will have to start skipping.
The elite camp just finished up here at the Lenmar Racket Club for the past week or so. The youngsters being able to take advantage of all the great coaching, and you're part of that. Has Robin been able to do some of that?
Robin's never been here as an athlete.
Now, that surprises me, for as smart and as well as she plays.
Well, that's what I was saying you were talking about earlier. She doesn't have a coach. When she gets somebody like Jim Winterton now who's underneath her, I think you're going to have to watch out for her this year. Sue didn't kill it. Robin winds up.
You know, the shame of this whole deal is, as well as Robin is playing, and she's making Sue MacTaggert look like a bad player. Sue's not that bad. She's a very good, smart player.
Great serve. No, Sue plays on the Women's Pro Tour, and she's had some wins over the top 2 or 3 women in the Pro Tour. Jim Winterton talking to a couple of his players. Tim Sweeney, who got injured last night, was playing in a match last night and went to serve it, slipped on a wet spot, turned his ankle.
This past 12 months have been the greatest of Tim Sweeney's young career in racquetball, winning almost everything he's entered.
Well, he won the Olympic Festival. He won the National Singles. He won the Intercollegiate Nationals.
Yeah, representing Southwest Missouri State. They won the team championships. He's a fine young gentleman.
Oh, she scraped that off the wall and just barely got it to the front.
You know, and she's going to take it. She's not even going to apologize either. Yeah, that's okay. I like that stuff.
1 serving 5. There's that overhead. She goes back to that Z serve. Ooh, she got that. She didn't get that one, though.
No, but I guarantee you, if Sue had skipped that ball when she was standing behind Robin, she would have asked for a hinder.
There's Robin. She's got real good center court position. Great dive. Sue's got her trapped on the right side, on the left side, hits it down the right.
Now there's a shot I'm talking about. If she'd have skipped that one, she would have asked for a Hendry.
No question about it. She was completely blocked.
2 serving 5.
I'll tell you, if Sue can get some good serves, there you see, Robin has 3 aces and Sue has none. Sue can get some good serves. She can get back into this game.
Second serve, ball hitting front wall, side wall, and then another side wall. So that's 3 walls. So second serve then.
Oh, that was a great get.
Well, she's an athlete. No doubt about that. Skips the ball in. And Sue on a minor roll right now.
Straight in. That's just kind of that was a great get right there. That ball was way behind her and she pulled it through. And then she skipped it. As I said earlier, the only fault with Robin is she gets into these habits of skipping the ball, and she'll continue to kill it and skip it and let the other person back in the match. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and if Sue MacTaggert wants to take this puppy to the tiebreaker, she's going to have to start playing all kinds of overhands, slow it down, stall, even when she's serving, do tons of things differently.
Yeah, she wanted to screen.
But you know, that's well, you know, you set it up early. The judge is Canadian. He's not cheating, but he is used to screen serve, so therefore he is not going to and did not call that serve as a screen. And they've called timeout. Sue MacTaggert, as we've said, on a bit of a minor roll right here. We're in the second game. As Robin Levine dominated the first game, Robin Levine from the United States, Sue MacTaggert of Canada. Score right now when we resume is MacTaggert with the score 3-5.